What is up, y'all? You know that little shooting incident that happened up in Manhattan?
One night after New York's deadliest mass shooting in a generation, police are settling in on a motive for the massacre in one of the world's most densely populated commercial neighborhoods. 27-year-old Shane Tamura didn't even try to blend in on the pedestrian plaza in front, wearing a blazer and sunglasses and carrying an assault rifle. Moments later, he burst into the lobby and opened fire.
I find that just about as right as the left side of a liar's tongue. Somebody ain't telling us the truth about this stuff. But here are two simple reasons as to why I feel the way that I do. First, no gun, no crime. They said he came from Nevada, and they said he had mental health issues.
In that note, Mr. Tamura claimed to be suffering from CTE, possibly from playing high school football. And he blamed the NFL. He also writes, "Study my brain. I'm sorry."
But I had to ask, to what extent? Because see, there are laws in the state of Nevada. A person shall not own or have in his possession or her possession any firearm if the person is A, has been adjudicated as mentally ill or has been committed to any mental health facility by a court in this state and any other state or the United States. B, has entered a plea of guilty, but mentally ill in the court of this state, any other state, or the United States. C, has been found guilty, but mentally ill in a court of this state or any other state or the United States. D, has been acquitted by reason of insanity in the court of this state, any other state, or the United States. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I have to ask, to what extent does the history of Shane Tamura's mental illness go? Now, second, they were saying that he was disgruntled because he didn't make it to the NFL.
And it was just a random act of violence of a person who was determined to inflict violence.
Today, the mayor said it appeared likely Tamura had been trying to target the National Football League, its headquarters on some of the building's lower floors. They've already retraced his steps across the country, a drive he made just over the weekend, arriving in the city merely 2 hours before the rampage, which led office workers to run for their lives or barricade themselves in place as police rushed in, but all of it too late.
But they expect for us to believe that he drove some 2,500 miles from Nevada to Manhattan by way of Colorado because he was disgruntled with the NFL. That don't make sense, y'all. Because the first thing that you have to consider is how many NFL teams did this man bypass? He had ample amount of time to stop by Colorado and visit the Broncos in Denver. He could have dropped by Missouri and knocked off the Chiefs. Then he could have went on a killing spree to Chicago and put all the Bears in bear hugs. Better yet, when you look down beneath this map, you'll see California. We ain't finna even get started on the amount of NFL teams that are down there in California. Hell, he could have shortened his trip. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying that that's not logical. That this can't be the case. This is not it. But here's what does make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. Finances run and control America. Money talks. Bullshit runs the marathon. How many of y'all remember when the banks needed a bailout? They told us that they were too big to fail. The next thing we know, all of the people that we thought who were supposed to be running this company ran to their aid. Now, they told us that Shane Tamura worked at one of those casinos out in Vegas. Isn't it funny that two financial institutions with casino and real estate ties to Nevada has stations in the very Manhattan building that Shane Tamura shot up? Ain't that funny? Deutsche Bank and Blackstone. Look at these PDFs. Deutsche Bank, once again, sold a casino to Blackstone. Then the second one is Deutsche Bank was sued by a Nevada attorney general for having relations to consumer mortgages. Now, I don't know about y'all, but watching that clip, Shane Tamura went off the deep end. So I had to ask you this, and I want you to think deep about what I'm saying here. What would make an individual go apeshit more than the loss of his home and his job? Now, all of this may be considered speculation. It may be considered untrue. But what I do want you all to think about is, what would you do if you lost yours? Put down in the comment section what you think about this whole ordeal. There are no wrong answers. We're trying to find something out.